Welcome, captains of FlipGive. Thank you so much for taking on this role and being the leader for your team. Again, Alam here. I'm here to help you guys get as much information as you can to make sure that you are set up for success for you and your team. As a quick agenda, I'm going to be going over 4 main topics today. How to set up your team page, how to organize your team, how to get paid, which is super important, and of course, how to keep your team motivated. So let's dive right into it. By now, you've set up a team, you've signed up on FlipGive, and you've landed here, which is your FlipGive homepage. Anytime there's any changes that need to be made to your team, it's always going to be on this More tab here. So let's go ahead there. It's the same on the app as well. There's also going to be a More tab. And in the middle section, there is a collection called Manage Team. So let's actually start from the top here, inviting team members. So I'm going to go ahead and click there. When you are on the FlipGive app, you can invite team members through the same options that you see here, but additionally, you can also do it through any messenger platforms you use like WhatsApp, text messaging, emails, etc. So it's pretty straightforward. There are the various options here that you see. There is a team code that is unique to your team only. The good news is you don't have to worry about memorizing it or noting it down anywhere, because whenever you send the invitation to your teammates, that invite code will automatically be embedded in there. So don't worry about memorizing the 6-digit code. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. Those are the options that you have, and I'm just going to go back now to back to the More tab. Organizing team members. Now, from here, you're going to see a list of all the team members that you have invited who have either accepted or have pending invitations. So I've only invited my friend Joe here right now, so that's why it's a pretty small list. But from here, you can also invite team members and create something called subgroups. So subgroups is a tool that we've created to encourage some friendly competition. Now, you don't have to use this tool if you don't need to, but sometimes we found that it creates a little bit of friendly competition, which is great. So I'm going to just go ahead and call this Seniors Team FlipGive. And you can go ahead and create as many subgroups as you want and organize your team members based on that if that's something that you're interested in. And lastly, let's go to the team settings option. So this is where you're going to make any team edits, whether it has to do with your display photo, the team name, your location, where you're based, as well as a description. Now the description is, we have a templated version always there by default, but it's a great way to customize it so that whenever you're asking for support, let's say whether it's with your colleagues or family members, they'll get a little bit more context as to what your team is earning funds for. So it's always helpful to have a little description there. You can change your funding goal whenever you need to, as well as the deadline. If you don't set your own deadline, or if you never set one at the beginning when you're first setting up your FlipGive team, you can always come back here to change that, and by default it will give it an 8-month deadline. So if you started January 1st, it will automatically set it by default to August. But again, you can always change that whenever you need to, and you can also close your team and open it back up whenever you need as the captain. So whenever you need to make those changes, go to the More tab, click on Team Settings, and you can make all those changes there. So now that we've gone through how to set up your team page and how to organize your team, let's talk about money, because that's quite an important topic for team members and captains. So if you click on your Funds tab, there's going to be 2 filters that you can see them as: earnings and withdrawals. Now we've organized it in such so that you can get a breakdown of how much you've earned through shopping, donations, and bonuses. Now bonuses are FlipGive credits that we have given you guys if there are any promotions that we're offering. First shop bonuses, referral bonuses, these all fall under this category. And right now, because this is a test team, it's going to be a little bit hard to show you, but basically when you have a list of your team members, you can click on their names and then you'll see a breakdown of how much they earned through shopping, donation, and bonuses. This is a great tool for captains to keep track of how much each team member has raised. You can always change if you're worried about like security settings and want to remain anonymous. You can go to your profile here, and there'll be an option in the settings where you can actually change that as well. And next, most importantly, is the withdrawals tab. So I've actually already submitted my payment information, which is why it says withdraw funds. But normally what you should see if you haven't done that yet is this button will say submit payment information. And all that is it's going to ask you for some details about who we should make the check out to and where it should go. Once you submit that information, it gets submitted for approval by one of our team members. It takes about 7 business days. And once that is complete and you receive an approval, you will then see this button here, like you see it right now, where it says withdraw funds. And then what that will do is it should take you to this page here where it gives you a summary of the information you submitted as well as the amount you have in your team's funds. We do require that you have a $100 minimum amount earned before you can withdraw the funds, but anytime you reach after 100, fair game, and your team can request funds. Again, these are all tools that are only available to the team captain, so team members can't request payout. It's only accessible through the team captain. And last but not least, and most importantly, is we get the question quite often from team captains, which is how do I keep my team motivated? So as we know, if you've been doing fundraising or these type of projects for a long time, one of the hardest things is to keep your team engaged. And the best advice I have is to just make sure that you're constantly reminding your team members about any cool promotions or programs or contests that you might see on FlipGive. Take advantage of all the holidays like Valentine's Day, Christmas, birthdays. Remind your team members that, hey, don't forget to shop through our FlipGive team. And just remind them that, the things that they're already buying for can earn them money. So anytime you see a really cool holiday or earning opportunities, just go ahead and share that. Tag your team in the comments and get as much exposure as you can. And before you guys leave, captains, I would say the easiest way, kind of how I showed you a demo, is before you go out and tell your teammates about this, go out and try this for yourself. So, I'm not asking you to go spend $100, but even $5, $10, go buy a gift card on our site and see what that experience is like, so that when you're relaying that message to your teammates, you can share your experience and say, hey, it was as simple as I thought. And that way, if they have any questions for you, it might be a little bit easier for you to answer that as well. And of course, at the end of the day, if you still have more questions, our support team is always available here to answer any of your questions. And you can do that by emailing us at support@flipgive.com or by simply clicking on this little icon here, which is the chat icon that will connect you to one of our teammates here at FlipGive. So I hope that was really helpful to you captains. Good luck. And again, if you need help, we're always here to lend you a hand.